This Donald Trump lackey is so disrespectful and arrogant. He sounds like his career is wasted in politics, and he should be the voiceover for a Marvel villain. Let's get into this one.
Was the pause on tariffs for everyone but China part of the plan, Mr. Gorka?
Oh, everything is part of the plan, Tom. This is the man who wrote The Art of the Deal and has lived it for at least the last 50 years in the private sector. This is the man who defeated ISIS, crushed the caliphate, secured the border. Were you alive for the 4 years we were in the White House the first time? So yes, everything he does is done with utter intentionality.
What did I say about Gorka's voice? I'm actually demoting him from a Marvel villain to Trump's minion and mouthpiece. He spews out utter nonsense with nothing to back up or substantiate his claims. He also asked if Tom was alive for Trump's first term, which might just be one of the more bizarre questions I've heard this week.
OK, so on Monday, when there was a rumour that the White House was going to pause tariffs for 90 days and that was denied, and then on Wednesday you paused tariffs for 90 days, what changed?
Nothing. The fact that you're listening to rumours. That's the only thing that changed.
The White House was, because the White House denied it.
Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Look, the fact is the fact.
So on Monday, there was no plan for 90-day pause.
What happened to Black Monday, Tom?
What do you mean?
Do you remember what the mainstream lying legacy media told us? Oh my gosh, the economy is going to crash. It's going to be Black Monday. That's weird. It didn't happen. And then the stocks rallied. So let's be very clear.
They're not back to levels they were.
Oh, really? Well, oh no, 6 days later, they're not. Shock horror. Look, here's the reality. I'm on the National Security Council. I pity my colleagues on the National Economics Council because they are deluged. Almost 100 nations, more than 75 heads of state are begging for phone calls with President Trump. That's the reality of what we're doing here. We are resetting the global economy because we are no longer the world's piggy bank.
This narrative is really frustrating. Trump and his advisors think that because other nations are calling him to negotiate, he's somehow won, when in reality he's destabilized the global economy. Obviously, other nations are going to try to talk sense into him.
And people don't get it, Mr. Gorka. People don't understand. Enemies of Trump don't understand this.
Well, it's either they don't understand it or they have vested interests in the stock market, in globalization, or they just hate my boss because they have Trump derangement syndrome. 8 years ago, TDS was, a joke. It was risible. Now it is a clinical condition, sadly.
Can I get your thoughts on whether or not Nigel Farage has also got TDS? Take a listen.
I've never agreed with the tariff policy. Do you know what? I think Trump did too much too soon, rather like Liz Truss did a couple of years ago. I've never in my life before seen stock markets fall quickly and bond markets fall at the same time.
Do you accept that criticism from Nigel Farage? Too much too soon?
Not in the slightest. Why would I? Why would I when we have almost 100 nations begging to talk to the president for equitable terms that actually create free trade that is fair trade? I love Nigel dearly, and thanks to him, you actually have an independent nation now, and you had Brexit.
So why is he wrong?
No, I don't have to agree with Nigel Farage, sorry.
So why is he wrong?
Why? Because he's not in the White House and he doesn't know the reality of how, as I say, I don't know, should I say the fourth time? Almost 100 nations are now negotiating with Scott Bessent, the Secretary of the Treasury, and with the National Economic Council and with President Trump. Why? Because it's the art of the deal. It has nothing to do with Nigel Farage. It's the art of the deal.
What does the president want from the UK in order to drop the 10% tariff applied to us?
It's not about individual countries, and as a politically commissioned officer of the president, I'm not going to tell another nation what to do, especially the land of my birth. I will say the advice to every nation. Every nation should drop punitive measures, be they tariff or otherwise, upon U.S. goods. If you want to do business with the biggest market in the world and the largest individual economy in the world, we will only do business with you if it is based upon fair and equitable trade. That is the advice to every nation of the world.
So, and that it would please the president, wouldn't it, to see Britain drop bans on chlorinated chicken, hormone beef, that kind of thing, coming from the United States?
I will say once again, You should stop having any punitive measures against US goods. End of story.
Well, that was unbearably arrogant for me, but let me know what you all think down in the comments.